Now notice that the horn, antler, or tusk are nearly as heavy as stone. In fact, some of them I feel like there might even be heavier than a normal stone that size. They haven't been tested. None of these have been tested. So I don't know if that is ivory or horn. But I know it's an image because I see the eyes right there. To me, the eyes of the animal or person is real important. I have to find definitely worked out eyes to go along with an image that I think I'm seeing. These are more bone-like and they're light. All of these have the texture and the weight, or what I think is bones. But here's a few that are just almost undeniable. I'm not sure what part of this, what the bone is, but they're real familiar. I mean, they look like bones. And the texture down deep. These, it has just a round end and they're lightweight. It's, I guess if I'd studied human anatomy and biology and all that, I could probably say more about what these might represent in a skeleton. Let me stand. These have sort of about the same animal carved into the top of them. But they're bones, pretty sure. Now some of these I feel like I'm finding images on them. I have to remember that bones will deteriorate more than stone. So the images could be more vague. Yet this piece has every indication of looking like a bison. And other stuff, actually. And many of these have, I feel like there's recognizable images. Faded, but I can find the eyes. It's almost like a little candle holder, maybe. This one in the right angle, it looks like a horse. This one, this little lightweight thing that looks like a bone. There's a fossil or something pressed into it, but this is discolored and this is smooth. So somehow they used that for a bowl of some sort. And this is that. And this is a bone that has a horse carved in it. Now these are ones that they feel that, you know, I feel like they're bones and they've been carved, and it's the eyes that make me see an image there, like a bird in one way, and sometimes it looks like a cave bear. And of course human images are on these. And I don't feel like I'm doing very well with this video. I knew I had too much here to try to explain. Explain what I'm seeing, or hope that I'm seeing. But there's images on here. And the images are designated because they've got eyes on them. Look at this one. There's an eye here. Some sort of critter standing up there like that. Or something. But that's an example of carved bones. And I really want to get to that mastodon skull and place it in such a way in front of that. And we'll look at every little square inch of it. Folks, I'll get back to this mastodon skull. I just feel like it's going to take 20 or 30 minutes to talk about all the stuff I see on here. All the images and color, the carvings. I've turned this over to show this as a two tusk that were snapped off. And they have faces on. Well, I'll get back to this, but I'm organizing stuff. I'm starting to get things a little bit organized, and I'm putting images in categories. But anyway, I'm in the middle of organizing things in this room, and I want to get all the cores together. But I want to say a few things about them before I go too far. The tools were sliced from them. They find hard stone, they carve the cortex away, maybe they make images or tools out of the cortex, and then they slice tools from these stones. And they'll look faceted. Each one will have a faceted look, as if it's had stones sliced from the side of it. This one, now this one's turned upside down, but if it was turned over, it shows this type of base where they start cutting these tools off from them. And some pieces are large that comes off the edges of these. It could be a saw or a scraping tool, and some are little bitty, little micro knives. But many sizes of stone come from that little triangle type slice. Some pieces are just turned into something else. This is a hammerstone. And some pieces are cleavers. Here's a core showing the faceted tool marks that was taken from the edge. But now it's a cleaver, held like that. This box has cleavers made from cores. Anyway, some of the cores, and I couldn't put them all in here, are really big. This is one we looked at a few months ago, and we did it in a light that showed all kinds of images and symbols. But these are cores, and a lot of them will show kind of a peaky up this way, looked at from this direction, because the tools are knocked from the other side. And they get real small. Let me scoot my chair up here for a second. But what is so cool about cores is that, I don't know, maybe where they were through with the core, maybe they just wanted to do some art. But most of these have some really neat art. I've got to say that a lot of times it's elephants, but there's other things on there besides elephants. Now, these are examples of images on small cores. And this one I've shown before, this little faceted core that has a bull on it. Now this is the only one I've seen painted this well, but I have a box that is marked painted images, and it has some really neat, well, I don't know exactly what they are, but this one's obvious, it's a bull. But I want to pause for a bit. Now I'll have to move all of these, and that's why I stopped on the mastodon skull. I am trying to get organized, and the cores came up, and I wanted to do a little video on them. But this one, this huge one, is just enormous. I want to move all this out of the way and show this a little bit. I hope you all are seeing the many images that I'm seeing. I should take more time and point out the eyes trunks, wings, tails, heads, other many things I see on this. But I'm not. I just want to show it. I have the flat spot down, what I would consider the base, from where tools was sliced from that base. Notice some cortex is still left on this stone, which makes it easier for the carving of images. The cortex does. As I said, I don't know why they stopped slicing on it, but I'm glad they did, because there's some pretty incredible stuff on this. Okay, now that's all I wanted to do, was show that piece. And I have all those cores piled up here now, and they're all together, and that's what I was shooting for and trying to organize this. This one looks cool from distance too. I've turned it around. It seems like, well, anyway, you know how things are. From a distance and up close is different. Okay, that's about as far as I need to go today. I see a horse, folks. I always like seeing horses.